Welcome, welcome. This is our sixth community call. There's a lot happening at Covalent. September was another blockbuster month, like from community, to hackathons, to events, to multiple initiatives. We've definitely come like a long way in the quarter three, and we are all set for quarter four. And let me give it off to Ganesh, and then he can do the proceedings.
Thanks, Pratik. I'm Ganesh Swami. I'm one of the co-founders of Covalent, and I'm the CEO. So something I was thinking about is that have we slowed down since our token sale? There's a lot of excitement before the token sale. Webinars almost every other day. AMAs and all kinds of things. And I was wondering, did we slow down since the token sale? Because it seems like the days are long and nothing is really moving. And then I look back to what we had accomplished in Q3, and I was blown away. So I'm very proud of what we've done as a community, as a team, as a project going into market. And it's so hard to believe that the token just launched in Q3. So it's not even 3 months old. If this were a baby, it probably can lift its neck. I don't have kids, but maybe Harish can correct me on that point. But it's so young that this token is just about to lift off. And this morning, I saw a post on ICO Analytics that we are the second best performing asset on CoinList for this year, which is an amazing feat, given that we launched into the worst market of 2021. A lot of people, call this a failed project or a failed launch or other kinds of cruel things. But I'm very happy with the way the token is today and where the project is, our traction, our metrics, and everything that's going on with our momentum. So without much delay, I'll just get to the proceedings. First thing is stake and the city. So single-sided staking is the most anticipated bullet point that we are to launch in 2021. And this is a multi-phased launch. Phase 1 is launching in Q4. Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4 will launch all through 2022. And with the delay with the single-sided staking is that all of the economic design and the smart contract design is complete. But the unfortunate thing about this space is that smart contract auditors are in heavy demand. So it's just been very difficult to get some time from the auditors. We've reached out to about a dozen auditors, and we're just trying to get some room so that they can see and inspect and critique the design. I think it's just irresponsible to launch a smart contract for single-sided staking for such a big network without the right set of audits. So we will not launch single-sided staking without at least 3 auditors coming in and giving their stamp of approval. So that is really what the delay is. But everything with Stake in the City, which is our Learn to Earn campaign, has been going really, really well. I'll have some other team members share some stats on that as the call proceeds. And as always, we get a guest, a special guest. So today we have Jordan from the Netvos project. We recently announced that we are partnering with Netvos and indexing their chain and going to market with all kinds of products. So towards the end of the call, I'll have Jordan share a few words about Covalent. So without further delay, let's first talk about the bottoms-up adoption, the hackathons, and the new developers that we are onboarding. So Harish, who leads our DevRel efforts, please share what our traction is looking like for all of Q3, really.
Awesome. Okay, thanks Ganesh. So hey everyone, name's Harish. I look after developer relations at Covalent. So starting with some Q3 numbers, we had 3 major hackathons, 2 of them with our partner ETH Global, which was Hack Money and Hackfest. And we also ran one with Sovereignty. And combined, those 3 events had over 3,000 developers working on projects. Roughly 50 of those projects were for one of our bounties, and we distributed over 16,000 in prizes. And that's just for the quarter. I just want to call out a couple of projects, hackathon projects that have reached some interesting milestones. So Blockhead, which is a user-friendly crypto portfolio, a DeFi dashboard, and Block Explorer all in one. You can check them out at blockhead.info. This project's taken place in several of our hackathons and is now added as a Gitcoin grant. Received nearly 6,000 from the community of 1,100 contributors. So exciting to see that milestone being reached by Daryl at Blockhead. And then also want to call out Skill Wallet, which took part, I believe, in Hack Money. And they built out a reusable chain-linked external adapter and applied the Covalent API, so you can actually pull in blockchain data directly into the smart contract. They just wrapped up through a consensus accelerator and completed a sold-out seed round. So really exciting to see Skill Wallet get to that level. As I know Ganesh and others have said in the past, hackathons for us are a front row to the future being built, and it's really exciting to see these projects reach these next stages of development. Currently, we're in the midst of a few major campaigns. So we've got ETH Online, which is wrapping up next week. We're expecting to see over a dozen exciting projects coming out of that using our API. Polygon Grants, which is run by Dora Hacks, is completing at the end of this month. And we're also running our own 1 million wallets, this time with our partner RSK. And so we've seen over 400 participants, 6 bounty prizes offering up to 25,000. And what's unique about this version is the localization aspect of the community challenges in 8 different languages. And we've also got a dedicated SQL stream where participants can directly access a replica of our database. They can build custom queries, dashboards, and this is all led by Brandon. And so this has been a really exciting improvement on that particular campaign. And what's coming up, we're teeing up a developer campaign with Hecko. We're going to be a part of the Phantom Developer Conference at the end of this month, and also planning an onboarding campaign with Netvos. And we've got a rep on the call here. So lots of exciting to look forward to this month.
Awesome. Thanks for the update, Harish. So a question for you. Are we seeing different kinds of projects being built at this hackathon compared to where things were earlier this year? Are we seeing more DAO related infrastructure projects? Like, are the themes changing?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely been more and more interest in building out analytic dashboards and other tools for DAOs, given the hype around that. What we're really seeing people take advantage of with our API is just the cross-chain, the multi-chain aspect. So being able to use a single API, but be able to build tools that span multiple platforms. And that's been really, really exciting for us to be able to highlight and showcase those projects.
Awesome. Thanks for that update. Now let's move to Jackie. And as many of you guys fondly call Jackie as the Alchemist Queen, we've probably introduced the biggest change to the Alchemist program since introducing it. So Jackie, tell us what's going on with the AlchemistDAO. What's next? What are people excited about? Yeah, give us the latest.
Yeah, so we launched a few weeks ago officially in Denver. So appreciate all the alchemists and the team and other partners who were very supportive, and very excited about the next shift where we can actually allow more people who want to contribute to the overall impact of just being able to change people's lives and doing some cool things within the guilds. So currently things that we're working on, and I know a lot of alchemists again have been asking on, we're ready to contribute, like what are the next steps? We want to get involved. People have began to choose what guilds they want to get involved in. So we've been working really hard with the Genesis founders in terms of determining just a lot of basic infrastructures and then shifting them to becoming guild leaders. So they've been setting up tons of meetings, having internal discussions on ways to structure specific guilds a lot better. So that way the onboarding process for any alchemists who want to get involved and contribute can actually have a really good experience in doing so, but it requires a lot of work in the back. And we'll be releasing the Notion page is already live for those of you who have been able to take a look at the wiki in terms of just becoming an alchemist. We've made it very easy. have token gated our Discord with specific channels, specifically with guilds for people to get involved. But it only takes you to hold 1 CQT to become an alchemist. And then the contributions and next steps, that's a whole different thing, which will provide more information. But we are looking to publish information about the guilds pretty soon. So you'll see that popping up on the Notion, and just have some exciting news to share when we're ready in terms of like partners that have been approaching us that are ready to work on some awesome projects that are going to involve some of our guilds, and our leaders are very excited. But we just want to ensure that we have really good base of the infrastructures and operations running smoothly, and that Genesis founders, aka guild leaders, understand what roles and responsibilities are in order to involve more alchemists. But yeah, are looking to produce more content, to provide more information on what's being released. We are starting to organize our first community call too, which is going to be very exciting, where we can introduce our Genesis founders and guild leaders and provide more updates. And then also starting to think about doing guild leader community calls, where your leaders will be able to provide more updates on what they're working on and provide that transparency, because it's very important, and continue on being one of the communities that provides the best inclusivity, diversity, and also culture, which is what many of you love. And yeah, looking forward to doing many cool things with you guys and having the opportunity for you guys to engage with our leaders, which it's all been them. But yeah, expect more to come in the next few weeks, but that will be prepared for you guys.
Awesome, Jackie. So one of the beautiful things that's happened with the guild system is all of the emergent workshops that have been running. And as many of you guys know, I'm a data guy, I'm a data scientist. I love playing with data. And I recently saw a workshop on learning SQL that Brandon ran. Brandon, please share, how many people showed up, what was the enthusiasm like? Why was there so much demand for something that is, supposedly very niche? I'm curious to know what drove that.
Yeah, there's been, first of all, there was 100 people roughly that showed up to that. I think 80 showed up, and then we had another 100 people or so watch it after the fact. So we've seen a lot of traction in interest. I'm curious to see what the output is going to be like after the hackathon is over. But we've also been running concurrently intake for alchemists into the research guild with a very similar training structure. And we've seen a massive uptick in, the number of alchemists interested. We had over 80 people fill out, go through our application process for this guild. So I don't know if people are just ready to drink from the fire hose and they've been studying up this whole time, or what, but yeah, the interest is definitely there, and we're working our best to facilitate it.
And
awesome.
To quickly add on to that, if anybody is welcome to join the guilds. Right now we have 7 current ones. So we have our research, which it's been great to see the engagement, the developer guilds, people starting to connect and showcase their skill sets, marketing and growth, which is the one that people have signed up the most for. We also have mental health, where we have a lot of awesome discussions and support groups happening already. We have fitness challenges already happening. Education, which has been great, and they're continuing to do the alchemist workshops. So yeah, feel free to engage, say hi, introduce yourself to the community, and just get to know people while we get things ready.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon and Jackie. So let's move to Adrian. I believe there was another unlock that happened a few days ago. What's going on with the market cap? There's seems to be a lot of excitement. So let's hear the latest there.
Certainly. End of September was an exciting time in the world of CQT because there was a big unlock of private sale tokens. About 50 million tokens were unlocked. And if you think about it, again, in the context of us being a relatively new token, just 3 months old, we added about 50% more tokens to our circulating supply.
And my understanding of these things is that this was the most dangerous unlock because it 2x'd the market cap. but the next unlock is only 33%, and the next one would be 25% increase in market cap. Is that correct?
Yes.
So the price impact would be less if our supporters choose to sell. But it seems like today everyone is complaining they don't have enough CQT. So it's the opposite. But yeah, anyways, it's all good news. Okay, so now let's move to the actual numbers with Stake in the City. What's going on with the staking UI? Where are we at with the testing and so on? And we'll have Lei to share some numbers there.
Thanks. Yeah, Stake in the City has been a massive success. I feel like it's worth mentioning that when we started this, it was initially like to get feedback on how we were going to be going forward with staking. And we were only planning, I think, to have 100 alchemists participate. So keep that in mind, because like I'm going to throw out the numbers of what it currently is. For season 1, we had over 2,000 participants across all rounds. Since we just announced episode 1 of season 2 last week, that was another 450-ish. So we've had like basically 2,500 participants so far, which has been incredible. In terms of the POAPs that everybody's like going crazy for, I have the exact number, excluding the bonuses. It's 3,419 that we've given away. So that's like crazy. And I'm so happy to see everybody's feedback, everybody loving it. Big thank you to everyone that's making the memes as well. You have made my job very enjoyable. I'm like laughing out loud going through those all the time. And it's nice to see what you're learning as well. So in terms of where we are now, the UI for the staking dashboard was just finished. So we're doing like test runs on that. The next episode, which will be this week, you're gonna actually see a demo with a special guest, actually Clayton, who's on this call, is gonna be walking through the UI, and you can see what you've staked, which validators you've staked with, how to redeem rewards, how to unstake, the cooldown periods, all of that. So that'll be episode 2. Yeah, really excited to see you all there. And oh yeah, one more number. We've had people from over 65 countries participate too. So it's like a global city. Yeah, really excited. So thanks for everyone for participating.
Amazing numbers. So, you know, there's this saying in marketing that you need 1,000 true fans to know if you have product market fit. And looks like we have 3,500 true fans who are in it to learn and absorb what Covalent, the technology, has to offer, because that's really what the core is. It's this data pipeline, unified API experience. Awesome, thank you. Let's now move to Prateek. What's going on the governance side? What is up for what? How come there is no? I know in some countries in the parliament they throw chairs and sandwiches. We haven't seen any of that in our governance calls. So let's hear what's going on there.
Yeah, part of the reason is, of course, the governance forum is, of course, we do have governance forum. We have like different requests that we keep getting. But yeah, we are wanting that to kind of streamline, have like specific proposals coming for, let's say, I mean, most of the requests are for indexing a specific blockchain. And that's like predominantly what our role is with the Covalent API, indexing and creating different endpoints. So, and then I've been working closely with some of the people who are writing these small like proposals or just requests in like creating a better kind of understanding for everyone who wants to read and wants to participate and throw chairs and like do whatnot. So for that to kind of happen, so like I'm working with these people. We have our next proposal actually lined up, and one of our alchemists, and I can take her name because she's already written the proposal on governance forum. So it's for her name is Lakshmi, and she's already written a proposal for Harmony protocol. I mean, I believe we are talking to Harmony from like the DAO standpoint, AlchemistDAO standpoint. Jackie has been leading those conversations, and Eric has been leading the conversations on the API endpoint standpoint as well. So I see a great amount of synergy there. And then like the Covalent team is like very well aware of like the challenges that Harmony protocol has and like different things that we want to kind of go ahead with. So yeah, I mean, there are a few things that we will be like putting forth in the next few days. The proposal is here and I'll share the link as well for everyone who wants to kind of go through. Yeah, that's the one that's coming up next. And like, it's very exciting that like our alchemists are like rising up and writing these proposals because they have their interests as well, because they're like building these projects on top of these blockchains using the Covalent API, and they want to use the Covalent API. So that's a great interest as well from that standpoint. And like I'm also talking to other folks who are coming up with like proposals for indexing other blockchains. I mean, as of now, I can openly talk about Harmony because it's out in public. So that's the update there.
Awesome. Thank you, Prateek. So if you guys are wondering why I haven't shared an update on the indexing and the API side, it's not because we don't have an update. It's because we have too much of an update. We've done probably 8 new blockchains in Q3, including Netvos, Axie Infinity, Arbitrum. Optimism is almost over the finish line. Just a lot going on the unified API. We've closed some major brand names like Rainbow Wallet, probably the best wallet experience out there. Bitski, which is a A16Z funded startup. They're building the Shopify for NFTs. So all of their data is coming from Covalent, and numerous other customers who are now entrusting us with their data needs. So there's a lot going on there, but always we keep the documentation up to date, and you hear the 1 million wallets and other kinds of marketing campaigns. But now let's jump to Jordan, who's joined us as the special guest for today's community call. Jordan joins us from the Netvos blockchain. So Jordan, please introduce yourself and share how we are partnering together, what you expect us to go to market with, what the community can benefit from this, and what are you excited about? So take it away, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a senior software engineer at Netvos, and first, maybe I should start by saying exactly what Netvos is. So Netvos is a layer 1 blockchain that focuses on a new solution to the blockchain trilemma. And one of the advantages of Netvos is we have a high level of flexibility, which allows us to integrate with other blockchains. So we're providing a one-stop solution basically for developers to produce a dApp that can be built on Netvos, but then interact with all the customers from every other blockchain that we're connected with. So the first blockchain that we're connecting with is Ethereum, and I believe the second one is Cardano, and we have a bunch more lined up in the future. And so one of the things that we're doing is we're bridging both the back end and the front end, which you don't see from a lot of interoperability solutions on the market today. But one of the things that we don't actually do is the API level, which is why we're so excited about working with Covalent on this, because this is really a missing piece in our ecosystem. And so recently we had a hackathon, which actually just ended. It hasn't even been fully judged yet. And we had, I believe in the first half, we had a couple thousand, over 2,000 submissions to our bounty program. And in the second part, we also had a bunch of submissions, which are still going through the judging process right now. And Covalent, I believe, was introduced in as part of that, as part of the solution that we could offer to everybody who's trying to build on Netvos and go through these hackathons. And in the future, we're looking to do a lot more of these. We're making a big push into DeFi, and a lot of the people who are going to be building on the platform, they're not going to need to just interact with Netvos's blockchain. They're going to need to interact with and get information on every blockchain that we're connected to. So this is why it's so essential to have a service like Covalent out there that we're partnered with, and we're just really excited about that.
Awesome, Jordan. So I think we'll run a 1 million wallets with Netvos. Any expectation on timelines there?
I don't have I don't actually have the timelines on that. And what was that about the 1 million wallets? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
We will run a Netvos edition of 1 million wallets. So we usually brand them for the project just to bring a lot of eyeballs on the integration. So maybe Harish can share some timelines if you have them handy.
Yeah, I think we're actually looking at either late this month or early next month. 1 million wallets, again, Jordan, is sort of our onboarding campaign to drive both developers and non-developers to understand a bit more about the project and the ecosystem.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I apologize. I was not informed about that. So this is the first time I've actually heard about the $1 million thing, but it sounds fantastic. That makes it the entire partnership more exciting.
Yeah, so it's not the first time that I put people on the spot. And in fact, and now when I give heads up to the team that I'm going to ask you these questions, usually the response is that I kind of enjoyed being put on the spot. It keeps me on the edge, but yeah, so my apologies, if I, put you on the spot there. But yeah, okay, so that was great. So guys, you can see that, we've been super busy for the last few months. We are not slowing down by any means. And once we've regrouped and, taken a bit of a breather in Q4, 2022 is just, all guns blazing. So I'm very excited for 2022. Now let's open up the floor to questions. Pratik, do you want to moderate the questions?
Yeah, for sure. So I think a couple of questions have been already answered by Pranay, Adrian, myself. I'll just go through some of these, some of the other ones. So, okay, what do you think about the new listings? Can we see another listing announcement until end of the year? Yeah, I mean, Ganesh, you want to take that?
So we generally don't comment on new listings. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it's actually out of our hands. But we did announce Crypto.com. There's an AMA coming up very soon. So that's what's in the works. Other than that, we can't comment on listings.
Yep. Is there any cross-chain plan? June asks.
Yeah, so I've shared this on multiple calls that the bridging technology is not super robust. There is, in my experience and just from the very cursory research that I've done, the Avalanche bridge is probably one of the most secure, followed by the Rainbow bridge, which is part of Near protocol. In fact, just today, the Aurora sidechain for the Near protocol announced that Covalent is a key infrastructure partner. So if you go to aurora.dev and you go to DAO, Covalent is a key partner there. And so these are some super secure bridges, and it's important that we are responsible and keep our token holder security in our minds. So until it reaches our own internal security bar, Covalent unfortunately will not be accessible on other blockchains just yet.
Yeah, there's another question about blockchains. Has Solana and Luna been indexed? I think Solana is already in the works.
Solana. Yeah. It's interesting. So the pull request was opened up yesterday. Aurelian, I don't know if he's on this call, is the one who did this exceptional work. Solana is a very difficult blockchain to index, but I think the heavy lifting has been done. So it's going through the review process. And I hope to share the good news on the next community call.
Anything about Luna?
Yeah. Luna, we are in talks. This will be the Terra blockchain. The Cosmos ecosystem has been a little difficult for us to penetrate. But the funny thing is, just yesterday, we got an intro to the EVM chain. I think it's called EVMOS, which is a EVM on Cosmos. So we are just starting talks with them, but no news on that front.
Great. So there's a staking related question. Which platform is Covalent staking built on? Is it Moonbeam?
So the initial staking is on Ethereum mainnet, but it's just an ERC20 token. So Moonbeam will be used for the settlement, not for the staking. So hope that answers your question.
Okay, there's a question about ETA for the new documentation UI. Does that, I mean, is this, I think it's for the docs, the API docs, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I checked yesterday. I think we are 95% there. So this last bit that's holding us back is the translations. So we'll be launching with 4 or 5 languages on day one. So you can localize it into, I believe, Russian and Chinese and Korean out of the gate. But I would say in the next couple of weeks it'll be ready. But if you want early access, reach out to someone on the team, and we'll give you access to the staging environment. Would love feedback.
Okay, this is like a 2-part question. We've already answered the exchange listing bit. So are there any partnerships with niche peers for the future? And the second part of that question is, where do you think Covalent will be in 3 years?
I don't follow what is a niche peer.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
So I just to give some,
yeah.
Just to give you some context, right? All of blockchain is a niche, right? Less than 0.001% of the world has access to blockchain products. So, we're nowhere close to mainstream adoption. So niche in niche is probably something like Aurora, which is the EVM sidechain for Neo Protocol, right? So we partnered with them. So yes, as long as they're in line with our values and what we want to build, there's just no reason. I think blockchains are, they include by default, not exclude. So nothing is out of the realm. Where will Covalent be in 3 years? So Covalent, the product, I hope, would have had indexed at least 100 blockchains. The unified API will do everything that we started with as founders. So simple things like historical analysis and all kinds of things. So and then the network would be up and running. So it would not be this core team that's running Covalent, but it'll be truly decentralized with tens of validators running the infrastructure. So that's what I think will happen.
Okay, I think we've answered most of the like really important ones. There's one question about can you guys think of different blacklisting method other than by contract address? I don't know. Is this like
great
a product?
Question?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, great question. It's a product question. So there are 2 kinds of blacklist features that are going on. One is that, like I said, our API is not quite there. So if you're trying to ask token holders for a big token, for example, something like USDC, it times out. And because people retry this again and again, it basically melts our servers on the back end because the queries keep timing out. So what we've done is every time a query times out, we add it to a blacklist. So if they come and ask for token holders of USDC, we say, sorry, this is in a blacklist and we can't handle that request. But that is changing. In Q4, we are rebuilding parts of our infrastructure to answer those kinds of queries. So work is ongoing. It's very complicated, but it's actually been reviewed. So it'll be merged into master and pushed to production, I would say, in the next couple of days. So good news on that front. The second kind of blacklisting is this shitcoins, for lack of a better word. So there are a lot of these projects that launch tokens and then they pump. And so suddenly the portfolio value of your assets is like, $100 million, right? When actually it's just this one token that is $99.99 million because, the supply is so restricted, the price jumps. So what the end users want to do is they want to have a blacklist where you exclude these kinds of tokens. And you can see this even on the Uniswap analytics side, for example, these shitcoins, there's just this huge spike. So suddenly the volume becomes like 100 trillion just on one day because they move like 10 of these bad tokens, which are just designed to game the system. So in that case, I don't think Covalent should be the place where we editorialize the output, right? Our job is to just represent the data that is on the blockchain. So there are databases out there, like CryptoScamDB is an example of a database that you can go and connect with and then mark these tokens as bad tokens. So you can definitely do that. But yeah, hope that answers the blacklist question. There are two parts there.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think yeah. So like I think single-sided staking ETA has already been covered. Do you want to talk more about that, like just to let
Absolutely
more light?
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The economic design is ready. The smart contracts are ready. We are about to kickstart the audits, and the only thing that's holding us back are the audits. The UI is ready. When you play episode 2 of season 2 of Stake in the City, you will see the new UI, the staking UI. Everything is ready, but something that's completely out of our control are the audit timelines. So once our bar is 3 auditors, once you have 3 stamps of approval, then it's just a matter of onboarding token holders.
Awesome. And yeah, I think this is more of like a team/company question. What has been the greatest challenge so far?
Greatest challenge, I would say the biggest challenge for me personally as a leader is not having the chance to meet everyone face to face. So that has been the biggest challenge. And thankfully, we had a company retreat earlier in September, and we were able to fly everyone into Whistler, which is a world destination for skiing, and it's just a beautiful place. So we were able to fly in most of the team, and for 2 full days, we were able to really get to know each other. So I would say that has been my my personal challenge, right? Because people are 3-dimensional; they're not just this flat Zoom box. So I would say that is the biggest challenge. From a market and from a Covalent perspective, I would say it's focus. Focus has been very, very challenging. There are literally 3. We're taking the hard mode here, right? We have the indexing the blockchains, which is like a lot of work. And we have the API, which is how we go to market. And at the same time, we're changing the engine of the flight mid-flight, right? We're rebuilding the guts to be decentralized. So there's the whole validator program. There's the whole re-infrastructure, like rebuilding the infrastructure so that there's no disruption to the API, because the API, the transition will be seamless. So I would say, just keeping all of these things in check is a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see only one relevant question here. Will there be a way in the future for indexing private blockchains using Covalent? I mean, some kind of a self-hosted Covalent. Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's better than self-hosted Covalent, right? So Covalent will be this decentralized fabric, which is it's a public good. So anyone can query it, and it'll be completely fair. It won't have censorship and all that kind of stuff, right? But private data, at least in our opinion, should never leave the confines of your firewall. And so the right way to do that is do some kind of join between the public data and the private data, and do the join within your firewall. So, I think we're still like very early in that thing. There are other projects that are trying to do the privacy features, but I think that's how we would think about joining private data and public data.
There's a question to Jordan. How can everyone learn more about your community, the Nervous community?
Well, I'd recommend that you just actually go and join our Discord. That's probably the best way, where you can ask questions directly. But of course, we also have Netvos.org, which is the main website. You can find more information there. And you can also find us on YouTube. And that's a pretty good place to get an intro. There's a couple good intro videos there. And I'd say the last place, if you want to follow us for updates and announcements, is our Twitter. That's where we do primarily all of our announcements are made through that.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. So yeah, there's a developer-related questions. What's the developer's main focus right now in regards to the project?
So there are 2 teams at Covalent, right? There's the team that's building the API. So this is more use cases, richer data, fixing problems like, for example, the pagination is just wrongly constructed. So, fixing all of those those problems there, and just trying to address more and more use cases. Definitely, Primer is something that a lot of us are excited about. So that's the one side. The other team is building the decentralized network. So there, one of the biggest innovations that we've introduced to the market is the block specimen producer. So we'll have segments on that. We'll have like white papers on that. And so this is something that, to my knowledge, no one in the industry has actually addressed. Everyone has been focused on scaling writes. Everyone is claiming to have X number of transactions per second. This is their throughput and so on and so forth. But no one is talking about how do you pull data out of blockchains in a fast, seamless, safe way. And so the block specimen producer is something that we are introducing to the world in the next couple of weeks. And it's so great to see that other projects like Near Protocol and Elrond starting to adopt this standard. And we hope that the BSP and the block specimen, the specification itself, is widely adopted as a standard to understand blockchain data.
And some of you are already participating in the S3 Stake in the City competition, like Learn and Earn. So that's really helpful. I've seen some of the tweets, like curated tweets as to like memes around BSP. It was really cool to kind of learn about that too. So awesome. Maybe we'll take this as our last question. Will Covalent, very interesting one, will Covalent have their own blockchain in the future?
Covalent does have we do have our own blockchain. So what's happening is that as these blocks are extracted and put into a block specimen, they are then uploaded to a Covalent chain as a proof. So today, if you go to CQT scan, all of the blocks that are mined, air quotes, mined, are coming from the Covalent chain. And so it's going to be a hybrid chain in the intermediate, but it's going to be very, very thin. It's just a matter of putting these proofs on the chain. But the settlement will happen on Moonbeam. So what you see on CQT scan is the Covalent chain. But it's just an accounting database, right? It's not meant to serve any other purpose.
Awesome. I think that is it. If there are any questions, specific questions, you can always reach out to us on Twitter. Okay, I see there is one more question here. What is the team most excited about Q4 with regards to Covalent and the industry in general?
That's a big question. I think, I would say, me personally, the team is just starting to gel. The retreat helped, and I can't wait. I think Q1 will fire on all cylinders. In all honesty, everyone stops working after Thanksgiving, US Thanksgiving, of course. Guys, Canadian Thanksgiving is next week, so don't stop working in October. So that's just the reality. So I'm very excited that the team is just going to we're just going to be like a force in the market. So that's pretty amazing. I would say a lot of the technical debt that has been slowing us down, we've taken a conscious step in Q4 to address them. So, we'll just be able to increase our velocity. So I'm excited about that. I believe there's Sumit on this call. Sumit is our recent hire who joined this week. He's an exceptional motion designer, and I'll share some of the work that he's done. So he's joined us full time. So we want to elevate the Covalent brand. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, there's just a lot. The network phase 1 will be live. So I'm excited for that. I think our traction is just growing. We're signing up like 50, 60 devs every day. So that's pretty exciting. And that's only going to grow. We haven't even started to explore what's possible with projects like Clayton. So Clayton is a blockchain that's funded by Kakao, which has 60 million users in South Korea. So we recently announced that we index their blockchain, but there's a lot going on with central bank digital currencies, a lot of stuff going on there. You can read all the press around that. So we haven't even scratched the surface of what's possible there. But keeping an open mind. I think the best is yet to come, and that's why, you know, we're completing 4 years as of November, but we continue to hustle every day as if it were day one. So there's no reason not to be excited about Covalent.
Absolutely, there's a lot to be excited. Okay, I think that is it. Just a final comment. We will be sharing the POAPs soon. The video is recorded, so the video will be available on our YouTube channel under Community Calls playlist. And just to kind of like share this tweet storm, yeah, just leaving you guys with that. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot for attending this call, and see you on the next.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.